Good morning, everyone. It's Dave Body on behalf of Bodyguards United presents the Autopsy. Today, our guest is Teo Kadri, right? Did I say that
Kadri.
correct? Kadri. Okay, sorry, my bad. Teo was on the Sunday and Money show roughly
February.
February. He was on
Yeah.
the show in February. Shared his story on bullying and medical issues he's been experiencing since birth. However, it was only a 6-minute interview, so I therefore agreed to give him a longer one, which would be a minimum 45 minutes. So Teo, please, welcome to the show and let's share your story.
Thank you, Mr. Body. I was born with spina bifida and that spine defect, as you can tell. Spine. It, your spine's like this. Mine goes like that towards
Okay.
the bottom. Mine curves. So I got a little indent in the lower back towards like my bottom that up about. And I got that surgically removed, and now I am not paralyzed, but I do have the disability, and I still work hard at my thing. And I couldn't be happy where I am today because I've been bullied, talked down upon, I've been laughed at, I've been called names, I've been everything in the book. And I honestly would love to help others out with my story.
So when you were diagnosed with this, how was it going through school for you?
Going through school was honestly tough. Elementary, I hated it. Junior high was High school, it really just started to shrug over. But elementary had to have been the hardest time for me back in from 2001 to '06. That was the toughest time for me because everybody always talked so much about me, and then they ended up. I remember one incident where I was in my wheelchair and I didn't have my Healy wheels on. And one time somebody took me, hit me back, hit my head, and they walked away. It's one of the worst things that's happened. Also,
Wow.
I could recall one time that people would bug me about like my crutches and all that. They'd write stuff on the board and when the teacher's not looking and all that shit. Excuse
So
my language. Excuse my
so
language.
when this happened, did the teachers at all support
The
or
teachers
offer?
did help quite the bit, but honestly, they could only do so much stuff before the end of it because they couldn't do much. They had no proof besides me saying that. Nobody ever witnessed it but me.
And those who did witness it never stood up?
No one ever stood up for me back then. I had to stand up for myself.
Hmm. So what would you say was the worst
I had to
time,
stand
like between ECS?
up grade from ECS till grade 12. Like I'm gonna say my whole entire school career. I'm gonna say my worst time was grade 7.
What was that?
Oh, grade 7 at Holy Cross. First day, I didn't know anybody besides like people I went to elementary with and all. Then at the end of it, they at the end of grade 7, I was okay, but middle of it, people were teasing me, laughing at me because of my disability. I felt kind of disrespected by a few grade 9s back then, who happen to be close friends of mine now. But now I deal bullying, I still deal with it. Like, I still deal with people making statuses on Facebook about me, no names mentioned, but people make statuses about me on Facebook and think I'm too stupid and naive to read it, or to know it's about me, pardon me.
Oh, so they leave the traditional vague messaging.
Pretty much. It's not the best thing ever. Because, honestly, after junior high, after grade 7, honestly, I went through depression. Like, grade 8 and 9, depressed. People talking about me, and everybody sitting there pretty much spreading rumors about me that aren't true. One time I remember a teacher bullied me. She called me a cyborg. And I look at her, I'm like, excuse me? This was in grade 5? And she called me a cyborg. I got up, grabbed my crutches, put my stuff under my desk, and walked out. I did not want to deal with that. I talked to the principal, and the principal was like, oh, well, I'm pretty sure she didn't mean it. Why would she say something like that to a student, nonetheless? And that issue was resolved. I just left it. And then once I hit grade 10 in 2009, September 2009, that was not bad. The grade 12s were really nice to me. They liked me. I hung out with a lot of grade 12s then. I still hang out with older people. I got people that are 25, 26, up to like maybe 30. And I'm pretty sure a lot of those with me being. And grade 10, hard year because not many of the grade 11s or 10s that didn't know me didn't like me. No, like, people didn't like me. They looked at me like I was some sort of freak. Oh, he's got this, so he's a freak. Or he's got that. He can't do this. He can't do that. I can do it, and people estimate it. But you know what? Me being underestimated, Dave, has made me the better man I am today. And I couldn't be happy. I gotta tell anyone who's bullied me, thank you. Because it's awesome. I got stronger from this. I got stronger and I got wiser.
So that's like the one saving grace and positive you got out of that whole situation was you
Pretty
realized
much.
how strong you truly were. That's an often attribute I'm told.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to deal with, but it's all good. It's a pretty hard attribute. Like, my disability has been hard my entire life. I still go through some stuff here and there. Not all the time necessarily, but once in a while I'll have a bump in the road, and I always seem to get through it. Whether it be a surgery that's minor, or since last summer, this is before I had met you, I was in hospital for cellulitis in my knee. And then that almost, I was, I think, 2 days away, they said, from getting my leg amputated. That was probably the hardest summer of my life.
What was the result of that? Like lots of just in bed and
Of, of the cellulitis.
yeah.
I I went in coincidentally. I went in on a friend of ours' birthday, a mutual friend of ours' birthdays, and I got out July 22nd. I spent 11 days in the hospital.
Wow.
And through those 11 days, I honestly hated life. I I was going through so much pain. The second night I was in there, they tried to stick a needle in my knee when my knee was probably the size of a baseball. It was filled, and it was purple, so I couldn't walk. I couldn't move. I had headaches. I had a heart rate of 128 beats per minute. And once that was resolved, after the heart rate went down in emergency, I got a room, and then the week of fun started.
So when you were released from the hospital, how did you feel after that? Like, did you feel more motivated, more driven?
Um, Honestly, I felt like crap half the time because when I left the hospital, I forced myself to leave because they're like, you got to show us that you can walk. So what do? In my hospital gown, I go walk around the hospital like. If you ever been to the Lougheed where units are,
Okay.
the unit I was in, like from the front desk all the way to my unit where I was staying in the private room, and I was in the most biggest pain ever because I couldn't walk. I hadn't walked in 10 days. After that, they're like, "You can go home," and I'm like, "Thank God." I called my dad with the most happiest smile on my face. I'm like, "You're not leaving here by yourself. You're taking me home." So that was the end of that, and then by the end of recuperating till probably August of last year, recuperating mid-August, so about a month after I got out of the hospital. I was better by September, so I remember September was a good month.
Through all that, like, so do you have any current?
One, pardon?
Do you have any current friends that were from junior high and elementary and high school that bullied you, but now are like close friends and they've apologized and they saw how strong you were and realized, holy cow, tail
Uh,
not?
in yes, I'm actually friends with a couple of them. We got over our differences and we just said we were young and stupid. We gotta just get over our stupidity and move on with our lives.
It's a rightful place to finally open up and realize, okay, you know what, I was really, really immature and juvenile in all those years, and at least they
Yep.
were enough to say that they were sorry and
Yeah.
continue the
And
friendship.
coincidentally, I think you and I went to the same schools, like different years apart, but we went to the same schools.
I went to Holy Cross for ECS to just grade 1, and then I went
Okay.
home for grade 10 to 12.
I went to Holy Cross and Lacombe, but I stayed at Holy Cross from 7 till 9.
Wow. So
Yes.
yeah, I was in Bishop Kidd, and it's funny to hear people who are going to different schools than I was, and to hear that there's bullying was still an epidemic and it was huge, and everyone's going through different. So what would you say was more traumatic, the physical or the verbal bullying that you were going through?
The verbal, hands down, the verbal. I've gotten pushed a couple times, but you know what? I've gotten pushed. I'm used to getting pushed in crowded halls, so I never really know who's pushed me. But I've been pushed. I've been shoved. I've been this. Thank God for the elevator key. Thank you, Mister. Whatever the hell his name is. Whatever his name is at Lacombe, that was my principal. He gave me the elevator key, so I avoided all that. I got to go to my classes earlier, like just to get a head start on the crowd. Because my first day of grade 10 was heck. I could not deal with it. I'm
It's a
like,
lot of people.
if if this is gonna continue, I'm done high school. It was a lot of people, but eventually I just got over it. I had to get used to it because I'm used to a small, and as you know, Holy Cross isn't that big, so
No, from what I remember of it, it's a pretty small school.
yeah, they're still they actually construction my grade 9 year. But as we were just talking about, the bullying is something I go through still on a daily basis. I don't get along with my neighbor. I don't get along with a lot of people because they talk about me a lot. But you know what? Gotta be the whatever. I can't let something so stupid and little bother me.
Exactly.
And it's not worth it. It's not worth the hassle to be bothered by bullying who has no life that's just gonna talk about you over and over and over and over again. It's like, is your life that boring? You got to talk about mine?
It would seem that way. Now, do you think it's a safe assumption to agree with that over 170,000 youths miss school a day due to bullying?
Yeah, I agree. You know what? I remember there was a time in grade 11. A lot was going on with me back in February 2011, and I didn't go to school for 2 weeks. When I went back to school, the school ended up looking at me differently. They also started talking about me on social media. Factor on my bullying career. Like, not career, but like on my bullying past. I've been bullied through everything you can imagine. Twitter, everything. Facebook, Nexopia. Wow, it feels weird saying that. Nexopia, because I used it.
Wow.
I used it when I was like 14.
So would you say that the verbal and the social network cyberbullying was probably the most traumatic for you?
Mm-hmm.
Like psychologically?
Yeah. It's given me a lot of trust issues with people. I don't trust a lot of people. And if I trust you, you better feel damn lucky because I don't trust many.
That's an understandable statement.
Yeah.
After being hurt for so many years, trust eventually becomes a dwindle of hope that you hope you can trust people.
Yeah. Like when I started out, now I trust everybody much. Minus you, on the other hand, because you've always been there for me if I needed you. You've also included me in quite the bit of Bodyguards United stuff, which I love, and I can't wait to be a part of more. Because it means more to me than I can honestly say. I love promoting the heck out of it, posting it on my Facebook page, telling people about it, hence her. I tell 2 nights ago, she asked me about it because she's seen my hoodie.
Oh.
I just told her what it was. Yeah, because I was wearing my hoodie on the patio. She's like, "What's that?" And I told her, and I think she's gonna like the page. I'm just gonna go on her Facebook after when she comes
That's
over,
fine.
and yeah, make her like the page. Yeah, I like.
That's not a pressure at all.
The best part of Bodyguards United would have to probably be youths can be themselves. Youths can be themselves. Youths can come out and tell their stories about being bullied. Hence me. I wanna have my story out there for other people to grow and manage to be strong enough to do this. And I'm glad that I can confide in someone like yourself. Me, like, I can confide in you because you've always told me if I need to talk to you, you're always there. And that really does mean a lot. And I also got a couple of other friends who won't be mentioned, but they know who they are, that have been there for me too. And I've gone through a lot with these friends to make our friendship the rock it is today.
Well, you've had the pleasure of meeting most of the Bodyguards and the team, such as myself, Claudia, Adora, and some of the other people who are part of the team, and they also told me that they hope that they inspired you when you came to the first event in April.
Yeah, that was the event where you and Adora spoke.
That's correct.
That poster right there.
That poster, that's correct, yep. Now, would you say that that would be an event that youths and other family members and whoever wants to come sure come to? Like, how did you feel after the event was
Yes.
over?
After the event was over, I remember actually looking at Amanda because Amanda gave me a ride home that night. I looked at Amanda and Brittany, and I'm like, I really, really want to do this. And like you told me, just practice, practice, practice. Because I want to be a part of this. I want to do that seminar for Bodyguards United. I want to talk in front of people, not just over this, but or TV, like in front of people, in front of a crowd. Face my fears of speaking in front of people. I kind of already did that when I was on the Sunday Amani show, but yeah, that was very good timing.
Another thing that's very huge and important with me at Bodyguards is we like to help individuals share their dreams and then live them. And I hope that we've done that enough for you with the TV show and then the first autopsy and then being a volunteer at the first event. I like to help youth find themselves and then help them live their dreams.
Honest, very first event, the night before the first is the night I was like, oh my god, tomorrow's the big event. I'm so excited, I'm so excited, I'm so excited. I got sick just before I left the house that day because I was not feeling good. Bad food I ate. And then I ended up going to the Pembroke Community Hall, and I was good. I was good. I was back to normal. I helped you and Claudia set up, and by the end of it, I was happy. I think hearing your stories and mostly Adora's stories helped me out a lot too, because hearing the stuff that she went through and you went through, it's hard. And I've already heard a lot of your stories, such as like your security career where you had how many concussions?
I got 3 in there. I got a total of 15.
In total, total of 15 concussions. That's not the best thing to hear, but you've overcome it. Hearing your stories has made me realize if you can speak up about it, I can speak up about it. Because it's simple. It may look difficult. You just got to tell your story. Face my bully. I know there's bullies out there. I know there's people that don't like me out there. Does it bother me? Not one bit. It doesn't bother me that you, or not you, but like people can sit there and bully me. It doesn't bother. They got too much time on their hands. As a friend told me, I tell them to go fly a kite. Because that's honestly the best thing for me is just walk away, not worry about anything. I walk away 90% of the time. The other 10% I'll bark back. But if I don't bark back, I walk away feeling happy.
Like I mentioned earlier, over 170,000 kids per day in North America and potentially worldwide are missing school due to bullying, due to fear, due to feeling neglected, to feeling that their voices aren't heard. So what advice do you feel you can offer to kids who are currently going through that?
Stand up for yourself. Be tough. Be strong-hearted. Be strong-minded. Do what's best for you. Tell a teacher. Tell anybody that's by you, that witnesses. Help them take these bullies out.
What's your outlook on
bullying? Go ahead.
Sorry, you glitched there, so I thought you were done. What's your outlook on individuals who stand by and watch, or sometimes even encourage the bullying?
They are the most people. For instance, I've seen people get bullied, and I've been the bystander many a times. Have I just stood there? No. But what I have done, tell the teacher, tell the principal, tell whoever. And there's to conquer bullying. There is ways. People just don't know how to step up their game. That's what I like about Bodyguards United is we're taking it one day at a time and we're taking these bullying situations out. We're helping people with bullying, and I like that. I recently read that story on your page about Ayla, and that was read. But today, and I couldn't be happier. It's taken 20 long years to go where I am today.
And during these 20 years, did you ever battle suicide?
hmm Suicide was a big part of junior high.
What were your thoughts?
I just wanted to end it. I was tired of it. I was very sick of it. I got scars from it. I regret them, but they've also helped me out where I am today.
I can agree to that. When I was going through my suicide, I realized the one thing with suicide is no one really wants to die. They just want
Nobody,
to
nobody wants, nobody really wants to die. They just want it to end. Nobody really needs to die in order for things to end. Things can be resolved without death or suicide or murder. And all that stuff I did when I was like 13 to about 17. So recently I recently pretty much in the last 3 years just started to say whatever. It's taken me a while though to go where I am.
It's never an easy thing to deal with when it comes to suicide, because when you're at a point in life where you feel the best option is death, it makes you realize how troubled you really are and how much you need help. And here at Bodyguards, that's why I always express people to share stories and help me reach out to youths who want to share their stories, because if you don't share it, you just keep it held in, you don't have a chance to vent and release, and that just makes it stronger of a difficult time. So that's why I met you as through a friend, and then I immediately just said, "What's your story? Tell me your story. Vent it to me." I'm like, yeah, I like to meet new people and see what kind of challenges that are out there that I can help expose and bring education and awareness to, and that's how we developed our friendship.
Yeah, you and I haven't known you all that long. I've known you maybe almost a year, and in that year, we've managed to become really close. And I can honestly say, Dave, you're one of my closest friends out there. You're like a brother to me. I look up to you, and you've helped me through a lot. And I gotta say, thank you so much for helping me. Thank
Not
you
a problem.
for everything.
When you go through a life that I went through, the depression, the darkness, and people reach their hands to help you, you feel obligated to do the same things for others. And that's the main concept for Bodyguards, is we unite through our stories and our inspirational stories, and that's what I felt I was most gravitated towards you. I was like, all right, this guy has had a rough life, but he's still here today, which means I can investigate that. I can conduct, aka the autopsy on him, and figure out where it's all stemming from, and help motivate and mentor him to becoming a for himself.
I agree on that 100%, dude. 100%. Because Bodyguards United happens to be the most, like, I don't know how to explain how I feel about it. There's no words to describe. There's no words to describe how Bodyguards makes me feel as a person who's been bullied and teased and laughed at. I just say whatever. I just say whatever and move on with my life. If people are going to sit there and degrade and bully you, they aren't worth it. I've been degraded, I've been bullied, and look where I am today. A Bodyguards United spokesperson.
My answer hoodie because it's being dried.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's difficult to deal with that, and but now that I've done Bodyguards United's work, I promote it through everything. I tell people about it. I tell people I do this, I do a lot of stuff. And being a part of Bodyguards United is a privilege.
It's starting to grow, and I think the reason why it's growing so much is because our slogan is we first support you before you support us. That's how we gain the trust, the commitment, the loyalty, the understanding, and most importantly, which is huge to me, is the respect and credibility. I strive greatly for respect and credibility, and there's times where I tell people that I'm the type of friend. I will tell you the truth. I'll be blunt. I'll be forward. I'll be honest. But I'm doing it in a sense to help you become more aware of and growth and how to understand how to approach life. There's unfortunately a lot of phony and a lot of fakeness in the world these days, and we're trying to counteract that and become more blunt and forward.
Amen. Amen to that. There is a lot of fake people. There's a lot of two-faced people. They're nice to you one way, and then when you're turned around, they're another way. I don't like two-faced people. I can't stand them. Two-faced people are... How do I say this without dropping any bombs? I'm just going to leave it at they are not worth my time. Because if I go on, you know how I can get.
Basically, the way to sum it up, the way I do, is the world is full of cowards and the world is full of hypocrites.
Amen. Amen to that, my friend. Because with a world full of hypocrites, a world full of ignorant people, there's always that little bit of people that aren't. And for people to and social media or for instance text message or on the phone, but they can't do it to your face, that's a lot of talk for such a little person. And being someone who was bullied for years, I don't deal with people that are two-faced.
So with your experience with the social network, what advice can you give the youth who are currently battling that as we speak? I probably did. With your experience of cyberbullying, what advice do you have for youth who are going through it?
Stay strong. Don't turn to suicide. Don't turn to self-harm, because self-harm is a big deal. And it hurts not just you, but it hurts everybody around you.
Do you consider the option of blocking individuals and reporting to be a...
There's blocking, there's reporting, there are many different outlooks. But you know what? I choose the simple way. Block, delete, you're done.
There's really no point. Like I've always told youth when I taught them that involving yourself in Facebook or Twitter or Instagram wars is just a waste of time, because all you can do is hit, like, people say the social media is very dangerous and very deadly, which is true, but it's also the easiest way to avoid bullying, because you have the options to just block and ignore. There's no physical confrontation. You just move on. Like you just hit you hit the button delete and you're good to go. So it's very dangerous. It's very much of an epidemic right now, but it's also easy to solve. However, I feel mostly youths are scared because they feel that they'll just make fake accounts, or they'll email, or they'll find ways. And that's why I tell people, if that happens, if it escalates further, you keep track of everything. You screenshot it, you keep photos, you keep all the material you can, and you got to build the evidence first in order to report it correctly to your authorities if it comes to a point of threatening and harassment. And that's another thing with bodyguards is with all my experience with the law and the legal work, I give a lot of legal advice on what you need to process charges and stuff. So
Yeah.
I tell youth to always make sure that they have screenshots before they block. Like block, but before you do, make sure you screenshot everything, even the minor details like hello. The reason why you want to do that is because that way you have continuity, and what that is, it's an easy flow of the entire conversation.
Yeah.
The same person. So would you agree with that?
I would 100% agree with that because that's one of the best ideas I've heard, honestly. Screenshot, block. I've actually done this with iPad. I've screenshotted verbal disagreements with people to show, like, a friend of mine what this person said or what this person said. It's all good, though, because and for them to help.
Unfortunately, cyberbullying is.
Cyberbullying is the worst. It's worse than physical. It's worse than mental. Worse than emotional. And for those people that can bully behind an iPad, iPhone, tablets, etc., you know what I'm getting at. Like, for people to do that, they're cowards. They are cowards, and I'm bluntly saying that.
I believe they're also known as trolls and keyboard warriors, is what I call them.
Trolls and keyboard warriors?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. But at the same time, we pick on each other all the time, like you with my spelling grammars. And I call you a troll, so I don't really like using that, except towards you.
That makes sense, but the keyboard warrior, what it represents is behind a computer or behind a screen, they feel the safety to say whatever they want. However, they fail to realize IP addresses exist. They fail to realize that Homeland Security is a huge situation you can contact. They don't understand the seriousness of cyberbullying and the amount of trouble that they can get into. Like recently, there was a youth who made a comment towards WestJet that she was going to bomb the plane. WestJet found out. They sent the FBI and sent the police to her house, and she was immediately apologetic. So, like, it's serious when people say threats online that you can be contacted, you can be located, and like they don't have the reassurance that they can be criminally charged. So, I always say in order to set an example, we got to lay more criminal charges, more bylaw infractions. We got to do more to show bullies that, you know what, this is not going to continue. We're not going to allow it. And Bodyguards United, we take our cases, we take the stories, we investigate it. Myself, personally, I investigate it myself to make sure that it's valid and that there's actually no loopholes where I can't really effectively help. So I've been getting cases weekly, daily, and I'm enjoying it because it's allowing me to gain more knowledge and more experience in how the system works and where the gray areas are. Like I recently found out that in the States that the school boards lose funding for every case of bullying that they report. So this might be a reasoning to why most cases are hidden underneath the rug. And when I heard that, I was immediately fumed because I'm like, really? So like, how do you feel about that, knowing that school boards are potentially hiding situations to avoid losing funding?
I think it's utter beep, and I don't like it one bit. Hearing that, that's the first time I've heard it right now.
Yep.
And that's completely stupid. Like, really? Why would you hide? There's youths being lost. There's kids killing themselves, threatening to hurt themselves. And as this slogan says right there, youth saved, not lost. And that's one slogan that really does stick in my head every day.
I don't know if you saw the post. I don't know if you saw the post. I posted yesterday in Bodyguards where some youths were sent home because their bra straps were visible. and I posted, how is it that we can send children home immediately due to a physical look of bra straps or a dress is too short? However, with bullying, it's a matter of 6 to several infractions, there's an investigation. Nothing's ever done effectively so fast. How do you feel about that, knowing that kids are sent home due to bras being visible but not committing sexual assault, harassment, and bullying?
Honestly, I read all that stuff in my agendas in school. Like, I would read, oh, no spaghetti straps for the girls, or booty shorts, like short shorts. Like, what is that? Like, is there a sexual officer in the school? Honestly, and I read something 2 days ago that said a 9-year-old got sent home for being overweight.
Oh, wow.
And 9 for being overweight, and this was in, I think, the States somewhere. And you see her. She's as thin as a board. She's 9. She's like tiny. And happening, I read that and I'm like, this is just messed. But one way I know we can all stop bullying is to and just speak up for ourselves. Speak up for others that need help. Speak up for even your enemies if they're being bullied. I'm that kind of person where I will give the shirt off my back for someone. And I know many other people like that too. But many people that also. Anything that you would like to ask, Dave?
Well, the 3 rules and the 3 elements, I guess, for Bodyguards United is unite, protect, and inspire. Those are the 3 ways that we focus on ending the plague that's known as bullying. We unite each other, we protect, and we use our union and our protection to inspire. Like I said, I'm constantly texted, I'm constantly emailed of stories that are happening worldwide, and I take it seriously to investigate it. I will send emails and letters to the schools myself. I will get my team involved. We take it all seriously because at the end of the day, like you pointed out earlier, it's youth saved, not lost, and that's how we want to affect the stats. That's our intent, and that's our mission, is to
Exactly.
effectively save youth.
Exactly. Youth saved, not lost. We can save lives. One person at a time. Or even time, because one person's going to tell another person about Bodyguards. I think Bodyguards is going to get really big in the next. It won't take long. Oh, Facebook, several followers. One of the followers happens to be my cousin in Quebec that likes it.
It's nice.
Yeah. There's another one that's out in Quebec. Her sister liked the page because I talked to her about it, and she's like, "Oh, love it. I like that idea."
It's a very universal concept because no one likes to be bullied, and even those who do bully don't like doing it, but they feel that that's the only way that they can obtain self-growth, and that's why I announced 2 weeks ago that we're even mentoring and coaching bullies. Like I'm currently mentoring one that's confirmed to be a bully, and I'm mentoring him to stop it and how to psychologically prepare him to end it. So it's like we're not attacking the bullies, we're just making them aware that we won't tolerate it and we'll help them through stopping it, because most of the time the bullies have at-home issues or disabilities of their own, or them themselves are a victim of bullying. So that's why it's a big circle where it starts with being bullied and then you carry it on, and then like we got to find a way to stop that circle, and we're almost there. It's still an issue where we're losing. They say Every 40 seconds, we're losing someone worldwide to suicide. That's the current stat. Is every 40 seconds someone's ending their life, and we're trying to make it so every 40 seconds we save a life.
Every 40 seconds is lost. And to hear about that, it really hurts. Because I could have been one of those years ago.
Every 40 seconds.
That is a lot of people.
It's becoming a serious issue. However, with governments and school faculties, it's still becoming an issue because it's being ignored. It's not being spoken of enough, and when it is spoken of, they hit it underneath the rug to say funding. But they are quick to act, to accusing kids of being overweight, or that their hair is too short, or their hair is too long, or they're showing spaghetti straps. And that's why I don't understand. They can fastly react toward those situations and find means to deal with it. But when it comes to bullying, there's always something. There's always an excuse. Like, what kind of excuses were you given in high school or junior high or elementary?
Was I given? Oh, that I was overweight. That I was. In grade 3 or 4, I remember saying, "Oh, you can't." I remember someone saying, "Oh, you can't do this. You're crippled."
Oh, wow.
And that word to me is like poison.
So, like, when you would
I don't.
tell the teachers or the principal, what excuses were you given from the school board that they couldn't help with bullying or support you? Like, were you given any excuses?
Oh, I will talk to them. I'll talk to them. I'll talk to these bullies. I'll talk to their parents. No, nothing ever happened.
Nothing ever happened, eh?
Nothing ever happened. It just kept continuing.
Did your parents speak to the school themselves? Like, was there meetings held?
Did a few times, and it helped a lot.
Yeah. So you feel parental support is a huge key to helping at school.
Parental support, moral support, like you need tons of support to go through all this stuff. And I got tons of support. There are numerous friends that are like family, that are supportive of.
That's great, because there's a lot of youths out there that don't have that, and that's what we're striving to do with Bodyguards. We're trying to find them and let them know that we're not alone, and individuals such as yourself and 635 others, and then I got
635 people.
And then there's 275 followers. I got 275 followers on LinkedIn, and what that is, it's doctors, psychologists, behavioral therapists, movie directors, actors. Then I got almost 800 on Twitter. So what it is, it's about building great support. Here at Bodyguards, we have a lot of doctors and behavioral therapists and psychologists who will offer support as often as they can. With that being said, with Bodyguards, you started about a year ago supporting us, and that's when our friendship grew. So with that being said, do you agree with the Unite, Protect, and Inspire is 3 elements that can drastically change bullying?
Yep.
Which are of the 3, which is the most effective, do you think, for yourself?
We all gotta unite. We gotta unite to take this bullying down. We gotta conquer, take it down, and be a team. Bodyguards United isn't just a random group. It's a family. We're all family. We stand together to take down bullying. And I know with all the support that we all have through Bodyguards United, We can do. Yeah, I know we can do this.
Now you own a hoodie and a T-shirt. When you put the hoodie on, and
When I
okay.
my hoodie instantly on my face. I wear it with pride. I wear it with deep pride. And now with the new Bodyguards store, I think that I'm going to be ordering a little bit more once I get money.
Yeah, the Bodyguard store has released a lot of merchandise.
You guys got a lot of different stuff there. Like customizing stuff for your pets. I love it. Or even customizing your own stuff. I like that idea.
The concept behind the
And
personal.
what's that?
I said the concept of the customization was to allow individuals to feel personally involved, where they can have the Bodyguards United logo and then their name or their nickname or whatever they want to put there to show that they're part of something that they are passionate about, that they're in love with, and that they're massively supporting. And upon research, psychologically, when children wear t-shirts like Batman and Superman and Captain America, they feel empowered, they feel inspired, and that's why the merchandise is so important to the youth, because when they put it on, they immediately feel. I actually got an email from a mother, and her son wears the hoodie, and she said that when his son wears it to school, he feels more of a superhero. Like he feels he can protect and he can inspire, and it's an amazing feeling that the youth have when they wear the merchandise, and that's why I wanted to see how you felt when you wore yours.
I feel happy when I wear mine. I wear mine with pride. I'll wear mine on the hottest days of the year. I'll wear mine on the hottest days of the year, and I love my hoodie. I really do. Heck, I've even worn it going to clubs. Someone that works at a club that you know actually seen me wear it.
Yes, I remember that story. We're
Yeah,
approaching the end.
all right.
So is there anything, any more advice, any further comments you wish to leave for youth who are potentially watching this or want to share?
I would just say, honestly, be yourself. Be you. Is Bodyguards United is where you can be you. And that's exactly my point. You got to be yourself. Don't be someone that you're not. You got to be strong for yourself. All you out there that are getting bullied, feel free to contact me over Facebook at Teo Kadri. That's my Facebook. And feel free to message me, or if you have any advice or need advice, message me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Teo, and we'll definitely still be in touch.
Thank you for having me, Dave, and I will speak with you soon.
Of course. Have a good day.
You too, buddy.